Yo, Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're doing well. Bit of a weird world we're living in at the moment with the COVID stuff. I'm recording this on the... what day are we on? All days have kind of lost meaning, 27th of March. So, I'm sure by the time this video goes out, things will have got worse, but we're going to ignore that for the moment and just carry on enjoying FM. If the lighting looks a bit weird, it's because I'm recording in the middle of the night, because that's when I get time to do it now, really. And if I'm a little bit quieter than normal, it's because people are sleeping, so I'm being kind and being a bit quieter. Partly it's more laid back kind of episode. This one we're going to cover the start of the O-League, so somehow we've actually qualified for the Oceanic Champions League, the OCL. Not entirely sure how that's happened. When I did the testing, it looked like the teams who finished first and second in the league at the end of the season will qualify for next season's O-League. But what it seems to have done instead, just like you did in FM19 if you've watched that series of videos I've done, is it's taken whoever's first and second when the preliminary stage of the OCL is drawn, so when the competition starts in around sort of January when the preliminary stages start. So we must have just been second at that point. So we got included in it. So we'll have to roll with it, unfortunately. Thought I'd fixed it. I hadn't done, but at least I've got the French Cup stuff working. So yeah, we're in it. In terms of what's been going on since the last video, played a few kind of games. You can see our form since the Manuea match has been alright. 2-0, 1-0, 1-0, 4-0. Nothing terrible going on there. And then basically the rest of this month, the rest of February, we've just got our league games. So we're in Group C. Let's have a look at all the groups. And the way it works is Group C and Group B play, I think, 1 week or over 1 fortnight. And then Group C and D play the next. So we already know what's going on in these other groups. In Group A, we've got Moa'ula United, Solomon Warriors, Bar and Tahiti City. And it's United and Warriors who are going through there. And then we've got Team Wellington from New Zealand. And then Hitiraa are going through in this other group with their Tafia and Madang not managing it. So Hitiraa are through to the next round. No surprise that Team Wellington and New Zealand side top the group, so they're the stronger sides in the competition currently. And then Group C, this is where we are. So we've got New Zealand side, Auckland City. We've also got Erekor and AS Lossi. So Erekor from Vanuatu. No real place to talk of. We should probably beat them. And we've also got AS Lossi to actually play as well. So they play in the New Caledonian Super Leagues. It comes up as saying they're from the Marquesas Islands. That's just because Marquesas replaced New Caledonia in the database. So I think we've got a reasonable kind of chance in the group. I'd be surprised if we don't get second. And if we go to Group D, we've got Magenta, Kosa Nadi and Tupapa Marienga. I'm kind of expecting Tupapa and Magenta to get through from this group, from what I remember in previous seasons. So in terms of our schedule, we've got Auckland City at first, then Lossi and then Erekor. So I'll probably play 2 matches this episode, and then come back for the final one if we're not already qualified. I imagine we will need to come back for the final one in a separate episode just because I don't think we're going to beat Auckland City. They're straight into it. Erekor have already beaten Lossi. And now we've got Auckland City to look forward to. So in terms of the squad, a few extra positions we can fill. Let's just drop a few players in here. Up front we've got Tihoni, Vakatapu and Riviera at the moment. So Tihoni's on 15 goals, Vakatapu's on 14, Riviera just popped up with 2. But what we can try and do is bring in Tavita here. He's got a much better link with all of them. He's got 11 goals, he's just not very fit, so Riviera will have to come on, I think, maybe half time. On the right hand side, let's bring back Olivetti to Afangaloka. Got Esaku on the left. We've also got Alwyn Morris on the bench, which is a good one. We've got Renard, who is our kind of defensive midfielder we've bought, who's been doing really well. 7.12 average at the moment. And then we've got Funaki on the left, Parmentier, Muavesi and Fa'apoi along the back there. We've got plenty of cover in there. We've got Tahiti Honey, for example, Tonkamana and Vea to go and play there, and then Safraz playing. So I think this is probably our strongest side currently. And we're going to need them against Auckland City. In fact, let's have a look at Auckland if we can. Let's. So because New Zealand's not loaded as a league, because it's not a vanilla league in here, they have no players currently, so we can't see anything to do with them. What normally happens, or what happened in FM19, is their team gets gradually stronger and stronger, they get more and more players in them, the New Zealand sides that is, and they become harder and harder to beat up to a point. So they're normally kind of ever-present threat. So we are technically the underdogs, even if they are all greyed out players. I'm going to say they're the favourites to win, because they are. One thing I should probably have pointed out before we started is there's no prize money at this stage. To get any prize money, you need to get to the final. And even then, it's not much. I think you win about 70 grand if you win the actual final. You get about 40, I think, if you're the runners up. So there's a lot of travelling and not a lot of money involved in this. And if we look at the match information of where we're playing, Port Vila, which I think is in Vanuatu. So quite a big trip for us. Not a massive trip, but I guess Jetterberg almost getting there. All trips are quite big, I think, across the Pacific. It's a big space. And another free kick they've thrown in. It's quite dangerous. Don't really need the league table just yet, to be honest. I think we can beat Araku, and I think we can beat Lossie. The problem is if we don't perform particularly well and we just scrape a draw or something, it'll become a bit dicey then. If we can get a draw against Auckland there, that opens up the group a lot. Esaku. Oh, there we go. There we go, the big man. Penny Vakatapu gets his 15th of the season. That was already on 15, maybe it must be on 14, must have misread. He's the 6'6" striker, and they just put it on his head. At least nodded it in. That's not a bad start to the O-League. It's our very first O-League goal as well. Penny Vakatapu, one of our original players. And we're starting to edge ahead in the stats now as well. Can we see anything to do with their players yet? Not yet. I imagine as well as this save progresses, teams from New Zealand will start poaching some of our players. Whether it's ones we release on a free or gone Vakatapu almost through. It was a good nod on for him. Yeah, I think they'll gradually get a little bit stronger. Because they've also got more money. They can afford to bring some players in. So I think what we'll also find is some of our players will get a bit too big for the boots. They'll start to refuse to sign contracts unless they get silly money, and then they'll go off. Quite often in FM19 they went off to sort of places like Saudi Arabia. Go on to Fangaloka, get it in. It's been knocked around quite well by us now, since we got that goal. Oh, good tackle. Long legs by Muvesi. It's not quite a smash and grab at this stage, but it's getting on for that. We'll keep Tahiti on for just a little bit longer. 10 minutes or so. It's actually quite a grueling schedule as well. We've got to play the other two teams not long after this match. With the travelling, the teams tend to be quite tired, especially when your fitness isn't great to begin with. Not got the best in the way of kind of facilities and fitness coaches and stuff like that, just because there's not that many, not that many staff members actually around. Might be about time to make that sub. We left him a little bit longer than we planned to. Let's bring on Riviera and Alwyn. fresh legs there. So you only brought... Oh no, we brought most of the fans. There's fewer New Zealand fans than there are us, because we're technically the home side for this one. Okay, 15 minutes left. I think we've got a decent chance of getting some points at some point here. Whether it's 1 or 3. Knocking it around alright. They're very compact at the back. They're getting a lot of space, and then they're just sitting and defending against us, which is a bit weird. Renard, good ball. Tahani. Yeah, we've won this one, haven't we? It's really weird. If we win our next match, we might well just be through. Which is good. I was expecting a bit more of a fight from Auckland City, to be honest. And it goes for Tahani. Tahani's been doing well. He was a good buy. Let's bring in another sub. Let's rest somebody else. I'm entirely sure who. Let's rest Tuamotun. Sorry, mainly because I can say his name. Just a normal cough. Hopefully. Go on, Renard, get that one in. Second attempt. Go on. Off it goes. Maybe I shouldn't be too surprised by this. So if you've been watching YouTube in general, there's a series by Oblique Kick Gaming, which is the Creators Community Cup or Champions Cup, or the CCL basically. And various creators have put in or drafted a team, given them a tactic to play, and then Oblique is kind of simming the league and then reporting on it, a bit kind of match of the day style. It's really good. Steinmetz got in, but that's not too little too late now for Auckland. Bit worrying they got that in, but a little bit too late for him. Yeah, but Oblique Kick Gaming have put together this sort of league. So if you go to their channel, you'll be able to see their kind of updates. They've done the top 10 goals of the week, and they're kind of doing every other week. They're doing some highlights from it. So every other week in the game. And the opening match, the kind of inaugural season opener, was my side, Oof FC, against Avoiding Relegations. So it's a good channel. Go watch that as well. Go watch their channel. Against Avoiding Relegation, and I used this tactic. And we're meant to be, Hoof FC were meant to be underdogs, a lot like we're meant to be underdogs here. And we had a good result. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised that we managed to beat Auckland. 2-1 in the end. But that's decent start. So we're not top just because of goal difference, but we've got Ericore play next. No, Lossie next. Depending on what happens between Ericore and Auckland City, we could qualify, I think, in the next one. We'll see. We'll be back in just a second to do that, because it's only 3. In fact, we'll just go forward. There's only 3 days between the games. So yeah, go have a look at Oblique Kicks series. It's really good. Really good commentator. Much better than I am. And just interested to see all the different styles and what different teams have gone for. So my team's gone for aggression. We've got the oldest squad in the game, but the most aggressive, understandably. And it worked for us. So I'm just trying to see what the stadiums are for this. So the group stage is in Port Vila. Port Vila in Vanuatu. So I think I was right, wasn't I? Right, let's try Lossie. So how's the team doing? See a few who aren't quite as sharp as they were. But we'll go for it. We'll go all out for it. Largely because you get the result here. We're in the driving seat for that last game at the very least. It does depend on what the other results are. We might bring up the live table when we get a chance. And they lost to Ericourt, so if we beat them, Lossie definitely out the running. There, Tahoni, minute and a half, in it goes. In it goes? Yeah, in it goes, that'll do. The problem with filming later on, they're a bit tighter. Big table. So currently, that puts us top, because Auckland are ahead against Ericourt by the looks of it, if they've got 3 points. Do I think that puts us... Oh, Tony, almost. Yeah, I don't think at the moment we've definitely qualified. Penalty. Vakatapu went down like a sack of shit there. Soft penalty for the 6'6" striker being knocked over by someone. Tarita puts it away. I'm kind of getting the feeling that this front three of Tarita, Vakatapu and Tahoni are champions. Those three together have got real potential. The rest of the squad less so, but those three are doing alright. And in the league we're still third, so we can try and in the actual Polynesian Premiership we can try and push on for the title maybe. The league would be more lucrative. Not because winning it gets you a lot of money, but winning it gets you into the Club World Championship. And that's where some money is. But there's our third. Soalimu Avesi from the free kick, nice set piece. Here it goes by Renard. Yeah, too easy. Far too easy. Not much drama going on here. Yeah, I think even in the Club World Championship, how the money works has changed. So I think in FM19, basically getting into the kind of preliminary round, which is where the winner of the OCL ended up, would net you about £700,000. And then if you managed to get past that, you got like another million. And if you somehow managed to get past that, then he was getting crazy money for this. So 700,000 was enough to change a team's fortune pretty much completely. And make them much harder to actually beat in the league because of all the kind of infrastructure they could bring in, wages they could offer, that kind of stuff. So it was game-changing stuff. But in FM20, I think the actual the prize money is different. So we might have a look at the end of this, but I think basically you have to get much further for any kind of prize money. You might get some TV money and stuff beforehand. Oh, what a rocket by Tahoni. So he's left peg as well. I think he just needs one from his head and he'll have a perfect hat-trick in this match. Long ball. Nodded down. Yeah, whip that one in. Where was I before he scored that one to go? Oh yeah, less money. So yeah, we'll have a look, but I think it has changed, so we won't know until we finally get into it, and we don't know when that'll be. No guarantee. So I think the only teams that are likely to cause us any trouble are the New Zealand sides and Hitiraa, the other Polynesian side. And even then, we've already beaten Auckland once, we can beat them again if we have to. Don't know about Wellington, but Hitiraa seem to do alright against them as well. Right, 4-0. Keep it going. Just crush them. Try and get some kind of record-breaking result. And if we can't, then we'll sub people and rest them towards the 70th minute, I think. Esaku. Yeah. Possession-wise, they're not that far behind us. Again, Auckland City is still beating them. Goes Muvesi. Offside. Harsh. That looked nice. That's a little bit harsh. Yeah, okay then. I'm looking forward to seeing how far we can go in this competition. I do think we're also going to be doing a bit of a balancing act if we get into the next rounds between this and the domestic league, because this will stretch us in terms of the extra games played. And the travel, I think travel's a big thing. It's going to cost us a bit of money to do this kind of travelling. But also then we're going to be tired when we get back. I think the game does take that into account. It doesn't necessarily take into account how long travel takes. I think it does give you a bit of a hit in your kind of fitness and sharpness. I'm sure in FM19 I had games the next day in the league after playing over in Vanuatu, and it would take a bit longer than that just to get back, never mind to be back and recovered. Some big distances involved in this. Go on, get it forward. No extra subs to Honey. Side. Let's bring on Owen Morris. Let's bring on Riviera. Let's bring on Honey right back. Not because anything's going on right back wise, just to give Honey some time out. He's not the greatest, but he's a youth prospect, I think. Go on, Honey, long ball in. What a throw. Almost set it up for Morris. Put it back in. Corner will do. See how many shots we've got compared to them. 22 to their 2. They've not had anything on target. Still, it's only 4-0. Yeah, what's Honey look like? There we go. He's nothing special, but we give him some game time. Oh, he's not even a youth player, is he? That's how long it's been since I actually played this save. I thought it was a youth player. He's not. It's one of the ones we had before. Morris disallowed. 3 goals technically disallowed. Olivetti picking up a yellow card. Fine by me. Bernard's on a 9.1. Pulling the strings from defensive midfield. Go on. This must be the end of the match. There we go. What a display. That's us top. I think we've qualified. No, we've not. So the way it stands is, technically if Ericor beat us by enough, what are the rules? Results between teams. So yeah, if Ericor beat us, that would be it. So that would put them on 6 and they would have beaten us. So we could still lose this. So we'll come back for the next match. And what I'll do at the start of the next match is just show you the finance stuff involved in it, because that will be a bit shorter anyway. But thanks very much for joining me. Hope you're all keeping well. Stay safe. Stay indoors. Don't be a dickhead and go outside. And I'll see you later.